Let's do this.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
I'm going to put you on the spot. So we have no guest, but we're going to do a guest episode, Cage. Do you have any intro tonight, or do you want me to go with it?
I want you to do the intro,
okay?
Because you are the Panini person here. You know all about them. You know all the stuff, and we should actually talk about that. But you do your intro, and we can kind of chat about that.
Luka Nation, I'm super excited for today's episode. As you guys are joining in live, feel free to let us know the comments, questions you have, because the guest we have today, his name is Brett Whiteley. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, maybe he won't even join because he hates me so much. But no, we have Brett Whiteley from Panini. And he's from the Panini blockchain team, the Panini NFT team, blockchain, Panini Blitz, Dunk, all of the cool stuff that they're doing. So we're going to have Panini on. And guys, this is a long time coming. This really is. And I got to give a shout out to our community because you guys keep us going and you help steer the ship into hearing what guests you want on. And time again, you said, we'd love to hear from Panini, both from the card team and the digital team, right? That I kind of group all that blockchain NFT stuff into their digital roadmap and to their tangible roadmap. So hopefully we're going to have both teams on. Today, we have the digital team on, and we have a million questions to ask. And we're very much looking forward to it. Guys, we have to announce something, full transparency. So Cage and I both are invested in Panini Direct, the Panini NFTs. Okay, so just full transparency. I want you guys to know that right off the bat so there's no confusion. We're going to run a normal episode, a normal interview, asking all the easy and some of the tough questions that Cage might have. Without further ado.
What he means by that, we're invested in, is we own Panini digital cards. We're not shareholders of the Panini family. We're not like angel round investors. At certain points in the last couple of months, we've bought Panini digital cards, the same way we bought Top Shot cards. I own several thousand Panini digital cards, all from their recent blockchain packs release. 95% are basketball. There are some UFC. I don't own a single Panini blockchain card from before that. Nothing from Redemptions. Nothing, nothing prior to their recent announced, the Prism blockchain packs that are out there. So we just want to make sure you guys know that, we do our collectible episode. I make sure to tell you that, we're talking about these shares. I don't own anything fractional. I want to make sure you guys know, going into it, that this is something we own, that we are not going to go on here and recommend any of these things. We're not going to tell you, hey, this one's cheap. That's not what this episode is about. It's more of a, state of the union for Panini. Yep. You ask some questions and ask the questions that our audience has actually asked us. Luka Nation has asked us in our Discord, in our Luka's Tigers Discord last night. This was the big topic of conversation. We let our Tigers know, hey, you want some added value for owning a Tiger? Just drop some questions in here, and we'll ask Panini because we have them on tomorrow. So just one of those fun little things. So
before we bring Brett on, if you can, in 60 seconds or less, Cage, what interested you in Panini Direct and Panini NFTs? Because I want the people listening to understand.
Well, Brett won't come on, right? So I'm gonna do it in a way where we lead him right into it, right? So Perfect. We had just rolled out of Top Shot. The situation of cards and card collecting was in a weird spot, right? So Top Shot had a boom, and it was sort of kind of static. People had come in when the boom happened, and it was kind of they were kind of coming down a little bit. Top Shot was a little silent, and they weren't announcing all, the stuff that they're doing now. They hadn't really rolled a lot of utility in, and I think they've kind of, righted the ship recently, and you've seen some initiatives from them over at Dapper and Top Shot. At the same time, also grading hit let's just call it a stall. PSA was not sending cards back. There were a lot of changes going on in the grading world, and that magical buy a raw, grade it, come back 5x your money was just not happening at the time. And rolling off of Top Shot, a bunch of our listeners told me, hey, take a look at Panini Digital. Ziggy who was all over the Discord last night, was really like, you got to look at it. And when I did, this is what I do, guys. I do a lot of research, and Panini filled in a lot of the gaps where Top Shot hadn't. There were a lot of cool things that you would have liked from Top Shot that Panini had. Auction, instant liquidity, let's call it. You know what I mean? Where if you get something in a pack, you're able to immediately sell it, right? They had a marketplace, but it was also auction. Put it up for $1, and whatever it sells for, almost eBay style. A lot of things that people have been asking for in Top Shot were in Panini. Plus, it was a recognizable asset. It wasn't this moment that was being created out of thin air. It was a blockchain digital version of a card that you already knew, the LaMelo rookie or whatever it may be. And it was packs. It had the same fun of ripping packs and opening it. So there were a lot of good things that Top Shot had, and Panini kind of, in my eyes, in a lot of avenues, was taking it to the next step. Yeah. However, and this is where we'll bring Brett in, I will say there are also many avenues where Panini, I believe, is behind what Top Shot is doing. And those are areas I think they probably should fix. And we can ask, maybe they're in the works. So that's kind of my 60-second cage-wise, which is always 180 seconds.
That's perfect. And guys, we've never done this before, but we did this for a reason, because we typically haven't brought in a guest that we're actually invested in their product. So we wanted to be full disclosure here. So I'll bring Brett in right now. Luka Nation, let us know if you have any questions, topics in the comments as we're doing this live. Brett, welcome to the show, my friend. So this is Brett Whiteley from the Panini Digital team. It's good to have you on the show, Brett.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So we'll get into all that, and I'll tell you, you guys have a good thing going for you, because when we published that little thumbnail on Instagram, it's obvious that our community is very much emotionally and financially invested in some of these digital products that Panini's released. And the questions on DM, the questions in my email, the questions in public, I mean, there's a ton of them. So you guys are in a great spot. But Brett, I always like to get to know the person behind the scenes, right? Like, how did you find yourself at Panini? Why digital? So I'd love to hear your background story, if you don't mind sharing, and then we'll get into Panini, the product, and the roadmap.
Yeah, so I mean, I started personally at Panini about 5.5 years ago. I started with our basketball team, actually. Learned a lot of things from that group. They've got a great core built there around guys that have just been in the trading card hobby for more years than fingers and toes that all three of us have combined. And that group of guys really helped show me the way and bring me along and within the industry and stuff. And I was blessed to be on that team for 3.5 years. And about 2 years ago now, I got moved over to our collegiate group, as well as when we first started our first endeavor into blockchain products, which were those first round of National Treasures 101, where we did the Dutch auctions and you get a physical card with the digital card. And that's how it started with Panini. And I mean, it was a smooth transition into that space, just kind of as the blockchain technology and NFT started to become a thing a couple years back, in early 2019 for us. And, that's kind of my journey within Panini. And, everything's kind of escalated from there, just as the blockchain technology grows and the utility of it and what you can do with it and what we are gaining the capabilities of doing each and every day. As that space grows, we learn more and more and try to push the envelope with, the sets that we're trying to bring to collectors.
Are you just like personally? Have you followed this NFT boom? Have you been investing in NFTs? Where are you on that? Like when you see CryptoPunks or Bored Apes and all that stuff, and like becoming culture, where people put like an ape on their Twitter avatar. Where do you stand on that?
Oh, I follow all of it. Me and one of my coworkers, Phil Lindenbaum, he's on the team as well. Me and him even more so than me have been on NFTs for a couple of years now. When Top Shot became a thing, I mean, we followed each and every time we could get anything new, we followed it. We were on it. The Bored Apes, even all the stuff that's happening on like the Solano chain right now. I mean, just any and all of it. We're just trying to consume all the daily info that's out there, because you never know when somebody has a great idea that we want to try to take and maybe try to incorporate into stuff that we're doing. I mean, it's no different than building physical products where we may see a competitor even that has a great idea for something, and you want to take that and kind of mold it into maybe something of your own. I mean, we've seen all the different 8-bits and stuff like that type deal that's done in the crypto space. And we try to take and mold things like that and try to put it in things that could possibly be ideas for us down the line. So no, for sure. We're all on top of that. And I'm a big time believer in it. Just the utility, the uniqueness of all of it, that can be attached to these things is just, I mean, sky's the limit with it.
So Brett, I'm going to let Andrew ask all the questions, but there are people probably listening, right? The thing about the NFT space to card folks is there are buzzwords, right? Forget about the initials, right? You know, we're going to make it, good morning, and all the other fun stuff. You know, we all greet each other. But more importantly, utility. The word utility gets thrown around a lot, right? And let's just take it from somebody who says, you know what? I like Brett. He looks cool. I'm going to go on Panini Digital right now. I'm going to buy a pack of cards, right? Which they probably can't. I don't even know if there's anything up there. But next week, UFC comes out. I'm going to buy a pack of cards, right? And they buy a pack of cards, and they happen to get a nice little color blast, you know, and they got these cool cards, right? And they look at it, and it's pretty, and it's great, and it's got a serial number, and they got it. It's in their wallet. It's in their Panini wallet. We'll get to that in a minute. And they come on here, and they hear you say utility. They listen to this again, and they say, all right, Brett said utility. So they're looking at it, and I mean, I guess they could show it to people and say, look how pretty this is, and that has some utility in showing it off. I mean, I guess they can, you know, stare at it and make themselves smile, but what utility is in that color blend? What's the actual utility in what we're selling now? What are those digital, what kind of utility does it do? Does it give me access to, you know, a public restroom somewhere? I mean, like, what I'm obviously making light of it, but what do you mean when you say utility?
I think there's things that are coming down the pipeline with that. I mean, one thing that we're definitely looking into for, you know, future type build outs and stuff is a burn type mechanic. We've been, it's definitely in the pipeline for something to work, but, you know, say we want to offer an exclusive pack or something like that down the line that maybe even gets you access to an event, or you using UFC as a perfect example with packs coming out again next week. Let's take a set like Color Blast this year, and next year we have that burn mechanic built in where we tell you to take 5 of your Color Blast cards, burn them where it removes them from the chain. You get some kind of a token or something like that, like a Panini token, that then could enter you into a pack draw for some exclusive parallel that we are throwing out there next year, that maybe even within that pack we've put in some kind of a golden ticket or something like that, that's fight tickets to a UFC event or exclusive fight pass access for a year or something like that. I mean, the UFC has been an absolutely tremendous partner for us in these early stages, to where they're giving us access to things like this that we will hopefully be able to include in some of our offerings within the NFT space. But I mean, that's just one example of, you know, certain utility pieces that we can add into our digital stuff, even on the fly, that it's a little bit harder, and you have to have a lot more planning up front to do on the physical space to drop something like that in to a physical product that may never even get opened. Whereas, you know, these NFTs are typically kept at a more rare, exclusive, lower count, that the majority of them are going to get open. We've seen that to date, that the majority of packs are getting open. And there's more than likely going to be that person that pulls that golden type ticket, or when we put those burn type features in, you can burn it and get exclusive content for it.
So is that something that could potentially get layered on what's already been open? I mean, you already got your money. You know what I mean? Panini already got his money. So if I'm sitting here being a skeptic, I'm saying, all right, yeah, I mean, you know, people have bought all these basketball packs, right? Next season, if the NBA wants to partner with you and have you, you know, give away a dinner with LaMelo and Lonzo and LeVar Ball, you know, and listen to that guy go off and be crazy. You're not going to give that to the person who's sitting there holding the LaMelo Ball this year. You're going to put that in and grab your money in next year's pack. So I still think, you know, all right, utility, it's almost like a leap of faith, right? Like, okay, well, you know, I hear a lot of people, we're going to layer this in, we're going to add this utility in, right? But to me, I don't really hear much in the way of utility for right now. I mean, it sounds like a cool thing, and I guess it'll be part of the roadmap. And I guess the takeaway from that is it's something that's easier for you to layer in, if you can, on the digital side than on the physical side. So it's coming, it's down the road. I guess my question would be, there are a lot of people who have put a lot of money into. I mean, Andrew, I don't want to step on the questions, right? But do you want to talk about like Blitz and Dunk and that kind of stuff? And I know we had a question from our audience about that. Why don't you,
Sure. So actually, I want to read a comment because we're doing this live. So he wanted here. I'll move so Brett's up there. So Matt Rushmore Card says you guys have the best card NFT images and IP for all card investors. The apps, there's a huge opportunity for Panini. So let me ask you. If you could share, we'll get into the details, but if you could share the roadmap, right? So you guys have the Panini Dunk, Panini Blitz app, right? You have Panini Direct, which is more blockchain. Is there an opportunity to integrate those apps? What's the roadmap for all of those apps being integrated within each other?
Or is there one? Is there one? Or,
There 100%. We have plans to try to implement taking your Blitz or Dunk cards and trying to build a bridge where you can turn those into NFTs. They're not NFTs in a sense right now because they're on an app. As far as my understanding, Apple actually has a block against people having applications that are blockchain and NFT technology on them. So the way that those are designed and created at this moment, they are not NFTs, they are not blockchain technology. But we are looking, it'll be much further in the road, but it is on the roadmap to take those fully, build a bridge to have those integrated into the NFT space. How that looks as of today, I'm not 100% sure, but we've started talks on trying to work out the mechanics of what needs to happen with that, how it's going to look, which cards specifically can get moved over, if it's all of them, if it's only select few, because it is something where we want to keep, like we say, I know there's base cards on there that are not numbered. So how does that work in an NFT space? Because on blockchain technology and NFT stuff, everything's numbered. And that's something that even we tried to make sure as we built out the first packs is we wanted to make sure, because we're a private chain right now. We've talked about going to a public chain. When you that public chain, what does it look like? Does it carry our numbering over if we don't have the NFT itself numbered on the front of that image? So that was something that we looked at early on, that we need to make sure this stuff, even if it takes us extra time to build this stuff out, every individual NFT is self-numbered. So if you go to a platform that doesn't carry that numbering over, it's still on the card, on the NFT, and carries with it wherever it goes.
So, I mean, just to lay that out. So it's in talks and roadmaps. There's no specific plan, but the Panini Blitz Dunk, there's talks, there's possibility that can be bridged over in some fashion. It could be trading in those for some other blockchain. There's a million ways. It could be burning those. It could be people who have those. The numbered ones might carry over. There's a million things, but that's not anything that's happening anytime soon, but it is something Panini's aware of and something Panini is working on as part of their roadmap. Same with Panini's digital. So it sounds like, unless I'm wrong, although it's not happening anytime soon, there are discussions about it being moved off of your own internal, centralized, let's call it, blockchain, if we're going to use that word, and putting it on some form of other open chain, putting it on something that's out there, putting it on, you talked about Solana, you talk about, whether it's Ethereum or wherever it might be. There's actually talks about it moving and having it be decentralized.
And that would be something probably even further down the line, because when you get to that space, we also have to work with our, of course, league partners and stuff like that. So there's a lot of that comes into play as well. It's not just a Panini call as far as what kind of a chain we're on, whether it's just the Panini private chain, or if we move to, like you said, something like a Solana or OpenSea or whatever it would be, Nifty. It could be any or all of them.
I'm curious if we could so it's funny, like our community is buzzing here in the comments, right? And you know how it is, like you run a pizza business, everyone will tell you how to make your pizza. But sometimes they miss the understanding of what it actually takes. So maybe use this time like to help people understand how you guys are thinking organizationally about NFTs and maybe some of the challenges that come with a legacy business moving to a blockchain. Could you share a little bit about that? Like how you guys are thinking about blockchain or just organizationally?
Yeah, and like for me personally, like I would consider myself. I've played a lot of video games, and I consider myself somewhat techie, but I'm nowhere near as tech level as like our guys that are over in India. It's our X Cube team. They're the ones that are the brains behind all of that stuff. And I mean, I'm lucky enough. I get to have daily conversations with that group as far as things that they're implementing. We take our ideas, we give it to them, and man, those guys take off and they just go running with it. And they got a couple different teams that are constantly looking on blockchain upgrades, site feature upgrades, implementing things recently that we've done, such as the marketplace filters, and trying to make it more easily accessible to search for a specific card. Last week we released the clubbing of card data to give people the ability to, using LaMelo as an example, if I want to go look up LaMelo's base cards, it gives me all of that specific card sales data. I think those are things for us, even that early on when kind of packs first became something that we wanted to kind of tackle and get into. We got to that point, but then it's like, oh man, now we're going to have all this stuff on here. Now we need to upgrade the marketplace and make sure that the marketplace has all these bells and whistles to it that just make it more user friendly. And I think that's kind of the space that we're in now. It's kind of trying to push the envelope, but not push the envelope too far, because then you just have this system that's just completely clunky and non-usable. But it's something where anytime we come up with an idea, there's time frames to it. It's not just something that, boom, we can have tomorrow. That team's they've got to come up with proof of concept. They've got to come up with a roadmap of their own, of not only from the front end, how it's going to look, but the back end, how do you implement that? And there are things that they're just constantly working on day in and day out to try to put new features and new, just making the experience much better on the chain overall. I know something that they're doing currently that will be implemented on as a backend upgrade to the blockchain is they're talking about clubbing blocks together to be sent to the chain as a transaction on the back end. And that's something that people aren't going to see necessarily on the front end, but those are the back end type upgrades that we talk about that are going to try to make things seem more seamlessly. So the dreaded, as you're trying to purchase a pack and you get the whole message of, the traffic's very high right now, or you go to open a pack, traffic's very high right now. This is something that should help alleviate some of those pressures that we feel on the system every time we do a pack drop, that people won't notice on the front end, but it's things that they're trying to implement on the back end to try to alleviate those stress points.
So, Brett, I am the least professional person in the hobby. I get to talk to people and I get to be a kind of an ass about it, but know where this is coming from. I'm a fan. I'm an owner. How many people, approximately, the ballpark, are users of the Panini app, owners of the Panini digital blockchain cards? Is it a few thousand?
I believe the number right now is somewhere between 12 to 15,000 users that have actually either purchased a pack or purchased a card on the secondary market. Now, the number of accounts is much higher than that, because the unique thing about our site as a whole is everything's encompassed into one. So even if I've made a Panini account, even to just purchase physical stuff, that kind of gets lumped in. But
yeah,
when we
could buy regular boxes, you're in there. But digital, 12 to 15,000, which I think the Discord is less than 3,000, or somewhere in the ballpark of that as far as members go. So my question for you is this. And you might not have an answer. Maybe you'll take a stab at it. Maybe you won't. But you've been around for a little while. Not a long time, and it takes a little while for things to grow and whatnot. But you had, the second mover advantage. I mean, Top Shot's been around for about a year now. And it took them a few months to kind of take off and grow. Conservatively, Top Shot has 500,000 active users or 500,000 accounts. Less conservatively, people have put it in the seven figures. So Panini, who has been doing this now card-wise since in basketball, which is where you kind of started off digital, since 2009. The Prism product's been out since 2012. You got a decade of properties out there you can pick and choose from to make the digital assets. You've already, got the Color Blasts. You've got the Prism stuff. You've got the 2012 flashback insert sets, the high voltage. You got some really cool properties and marvels that have been thrown out there. Considering you have what I would say is the better IP, than Top Shot, who had to just create something out of nowhere, and you've got a decade worth of that backlog. Why do you think they've got 1 million and you've got 12,000? What do you think the reason for that is?
I think we're still in people's minds so new in the space. We're constantly, like you say, adding to the portfolio, adding to the pile of, bringing along more and more and more of our brand heritage and our brand history and stuff. And to me, it's only a matter of time before we catch up. Like you said, we've only done to date when it comes to the packs, just Optichrome brands, really. You had Prism with basketball. We did Prism with baseball. You had the Select with UFC. Later this year, we'll actually introduce Chronicles to UFC as a pack offerings later this year. That one, you're just going to get a full mixture of any and all of the Panini brands and brand history there. And, starting next year, we're planning on adding, autograph elements to the cards. And it's something where, when it comes to physical products, one of the things that I learned early on, you can have all these ideas of things you want to implement within the space, but you just want to put in a little bit at a time. Don't just give all at once. So it's something where we're going to be adding in piece by piece by piece by piece and really try to grow the space as a whole. You talked about in the introduction, they had this huge boom, and then you can see the charts. I see my chart, it fell on its face. And I think a lot of that is people rushed into the space and just, I'm out. I'd rather see something that just grows gradually over time, and you get that organic group there that truly wants to be in the space as collectors, as people that truly enjoy the asset, enjoy the NFTs, and enjoy their collection and watch their collection grow over time and watch the space grow over time. And not something that's just a rush of the night, get there and just let the balloon pop.
I like it, Brett. But remember, kids can't fall down while they're running if they don't stop crawling. You got to stop crawling. You got to start walking. You got to start running before you fall. So at least Top Shot had that boom. So I think a lot of our listeners would say, they'd be happy to fall down because it would mean they actually took off a little bit. So that's probably, some of the frustration that they have. Before we get into the auto stuff, you kind of jumped ahead. You said, hey, we did basketball, we did baseball, we did UFC, we have some Chronicles. I didn't hear football. And then you went into next season. So is football now not happening this season? Is football going to be a next season thing, or is football going to be released? If you know.
I will tell you, as of right now, football is in the works, is coming. I can't give an exact date yet of when it's coming, but it is coming. We definitely are in the space right now with our, 101s, the Dutch auctions. Those are happening as we speak, if they haven't ended yet for this week. So we're definitely in the space with football NFTs, and we'll continue to be there in form or fashion. It's just going to be a little bit longer for some maybe packs to drop for that.
Okay. Interesting. Andrew, do you want to talk about the autograph, or you got some questions from our folks?
One of the things that really, I have questions, and these are our questions too, Cage, because we're users. So one of the cool things I think with Top Shot, right? And you touched on this, Brett, and you hit the nail on the head, because we released our NFTs, Luka's Tigers, and we want them to sell out, but we don't want them to sell out too fast, because a lot of people are then like that chart are left holding the bag, right? You have that explosive growth, and too many people come in to flip, and there's not enough of that collector mentality, right? So it's this weird blend of making a market where you have enough collectors that hold, and you have enough liquidity from the day traders who want to keep moving. So we've gone through that. I'm curious. Evaluate that market, intangible that market, right? Remember those sites that sat on top of Top Shot to say, I have $1 million collection now. My collection's up 24%, right? That kind of.
I almost retired because of those things. Those gave me a full sense of hope over there. Those guys.
Cage was going to go to his office to his boss. He's like, ha ha ha!
Like,
Do you see this?
Look at me. Look at me. Yeah.
evaluate that market, intangible, all that stuff where that's layered on top of Panini Direct that shows you like, okay, this is your value of your portfolio. How do you guys think about that? Is that coming? Is that something you're going to build? Is that a third-party app?
I'll say this: it's in the works. We're in the works. We're in talks with a couple different companies to try to add our back-end data to those sites. So it's in the works. One of them you should probably hear sooner than the others, fairly quickly. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say which one exactly, but one of them for sure we're going to be on sooner rather than later. The other ones are definitely ones that we've had internal discussions with getting with people within those companies, because I think it's a great feature. And I'm all for third-party type companies coming in and scraping that data and giving people that type of insight to their collection that shows them that raw data, because I'm all about data points and being able to pull that info and look at those things. And so I'm all for more people coming in. I mean, I know there was one app that I saw, our website, Serial One. I don't know if you guys have seen that one yet, but I thought that guy did a great job of taking and clubbing sales data before we even had that info available on the website. We've implemented that feature now that you can go kind of pull that for yourself, but before we had that up, that guy Serial One he was on top of it. He had a great website going that pulled all types of sales data. But no, we're definitely in talks with those certain third-party companies to try to get them to come in and scrape that data and give people that, I think added value even to their accounts.
So a few comments here on the side, and
I got a bunch ready to go, but go for it.
real quick, crypto payments, MetaMask, right? Is that also? I know a lot of things are roadmap driven, and you could say like, guys. I'm not a tech guy, but I've worked at a tech company before. It's funny, like it's not as easy to implement as we think. But I'm curious, like a MetaMask implementation or crypto payments, right? Because it's tough to deal with PayPal, frankly. Like, I said that you don't have to. So where do you stand on that? Where are you guys at with this roadmap of crypto payments, MetaMask, and integrating it into like that stuff?
100%, we're trying to get that stuff implemented. The big thing with that stuff is, and we even had conversations staying late yesterday and talking through some of that stuff. When we do implement it, because of how crypto works as far as transactionally, it's probably not be implemented in the auction space on the site. It will be more as a buy it now feature. So it may even be something where the marketplace then even takes another look to it, where you still have the auctions. In order to do the auctions, we will still be tied to PayPal for something like that. But when it comes to the kind of what we call the public gallery section, we may even have a third section now that is just strictly a crypto buy it now section, where we'll be able to let people exchange crypto payments. And I believe depending on the company that we end up going with as that crypto payment processing, for lack of a actual tech-based term for it, I believe they said yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, in that meeting, that the one they're looking at using will be able to take up to 26 different cryptos as far as exchanging. And then they've got their technical piece in the back end that can convert if you want to accept a Bitcoin and somebody wants to pay in Ethereum, that they pay with the Ethereum and it gets transferred to Bitcoin as it comes to you. So I'm with you. I don't get the technical acts of it, but I know enough of it to be a little bit dangerous.
Cage, I'm gonna bring you on here, but I want to read a few comments. So Doug Stillwell says, "I'm super pumped to hear the Dunk Blitz news publicly. I hope someday that I have $1 million Panini NFT collection." Doug,
I wouldn't get too excited,
Doug.
Doug, I love Doug. My kid has a Panini Dunk app with thousands of cards in it, but the vast majority of them, Doug, are not numbered. And I have a feeling if you read between the lines here, it's going to be difficult to have those things cross over the bridge. I don't think Panini is going to do nothing with them. Maybe, for every 100 you have, maybe you get one. They'll figure a way out to do it. There'll be like a burning type of thing. I'm sure they don't have the answer yet. but I wouldn't count on everything in Dunk and Blitz to just be carried over as a 1-for-1. We're bringing it over the bridge, and so I'd be a little careful. I temper the expectations on it, guys. This is me, not Brett. But I think I probably am right on this one. I think we have the best sports product out there. So much growth room too. All Magdalenians, nice. So I think you must be talking about Luka's Tigers and Bronze. Here's my thing. So I love the answer. I love PayPal. I love that you're looking to give other options besides PayPal, whether it's crypto or whatever it may be, because I think PayPal is a huge friction piece. So that's great to hear. I hope that's on the nearer roadmap, because one of the great things about crypto, whether it was, centralized or not, with taking PayPal out of it was, you had the no backsies that everybody wants. You're dealing with a sports product. You don't want somebody buying, let's use football, for example. You don't want somebody buying the Trevor Lawrence, digital card this week. And then when, he has a bad game this week, or I don't want to jinx the guy, he gets hurt this week, all of a sudden the PayPal claim is made, and it's like, hey, I didn't really mean to do this. My 12-year-old made you definitely don't want that in this space. Digital, you're supposed to be getting rid of that friction. So to the extent that we can, roll that in, that would be huge for growth. It would be huge for adoption. But let me ask one, and then Andrew, you can go. The biggest thing to me, so this is my biggest thing, and it might not be the biggest thing to everyone, but it's the biggest thing to me as somebody who does content, somebody who has a lot of people that I want to take care of, a lot of people that I want to provide value to. The biggest thing for me that Panini does not have, that Top Shot did, and I can't believe we don't have it yet and figure out a way to do it, is I want to go on live tonight and show people that I have 8,000 digital Panini cards. I want to show them that. And I want to say, hey, guys, you listen to our show, you're here in the live, I'm going to pick 5 people in the live, and I'm going to send them. Here you go. What's your account on Panini? Oh, it's Brett123. Boom. You just got a Devin Booker. And I do it all the time with Top Shot. It doesn't cost anyone anything. And I get that there are reasons why you have to protect against that. It's private transactions. It takes some of the ability for people to kind of circumvent your fee, right? But I think what's happening is, I think if you opened up something like that, like a transfer mechanism where people were able to gift things, the user base would go 10x in a month. Because opening packs, I have videos of me opening packs. It's the funniest thing in the world. And trust me, I got some bad stuff.
It's on our YouTube channel. It's on our YouTube channel. You guys can search Luka Nation Network, right? Panini NFTs. Oh, sorry, cut out.
No, you're right. Panini NFTs, check our YouTube. But I opened up a Brandon Clark 101. I paid a lot of money for that pack. But you know what? I was so mad that if someone was in the room there, I would have been like, let's go. Here you go. Just give me your name. Here you go. Brandon Clark 101. It's yours. And I would just send it to him. But instead, and I don't know if you know this, because I don't know if you use the product. I know a lot of times people who use it, build it, don't consume it. And I'm a victim of this myself. I talk and I do this podcast, and it takes our audience to say, hey, Cage, go get better headphones. Go get better audio, because I'm not listening to myself. And then I listen, and I'm like, shit, I sounded terrible. Let me go buy some new headphones. So here's the deal.
You still haven't done that.
Of course I have. Shut up. So these are brand new, but I like the wired look. Come on, it looks like nice, long, luxurious earrings. So what I have to do if I want to give a gift to someone is I have to list it as an auction, a price, whatever it is, and then either send a link to somebody or tell them, hey, it's the LeBron that's listed for $223.17 with serial number, 859 of 1799. Make me a $1 offer on PayPal on that, please. So the person actually has to buy it. They have to. I can't give it away. They have to give me $1, which, by the way, that $1, because of the fees and whatnot, I get like 17 cents. It's beyond the point. PayPal takes their whatever, you take your whatever, and that $1 becomes nothing. But that's too much. Like, digital's supposed to get rid of that friction, and it's supposed to give that whole deal. And I get it, right? There's ways to abuse this, right? And that's probably what Panini is concerned about. Like, people just, hey, let's have a private transaction. Give me that $5,000 digital card, and I'll just pay you in PayPal off the site. Panini doesn't have. I get it, but there has to be a way to fix it. Maybe it's a lower dollar value that you're able to gift, small, whatever it may be. There has to be a way to do that, because I'm telling you, just in our own world, go for it.
Well, I think there's a question here, right? Or is it?
The question is,
Cage asks questions in statement form.
Can we fix that? There's the question. What are we doing about that? Because to me, if that doesn't get fixed, that kills it. It's amazing. Kills it.
I mean, it's for sure something we can look at. I know exactly what you're talking about. I pull the auctions every day. I see LeBrons that sell for $1 that are not dollar cards, and it's exactly what you're talking about. It's offsite transactions. It's something that it's exciting to see, but it's not exciting to see with like the bonus cards, where I would see the actual, redemption of bonus cards sell on eBay for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And I'm like, why can't those transactions happen on our site? But no, I get it. And, it's something we can definitely look at adding. I don't think it's I will be 100% transparent. It wasn't something on the roadmap, but it's definitely something that if the community as a whole, there's an unofficial Discord out there that, a lot of us up here are in, and we're watching, and we see the comments in it. And, some of the ideas and stuff that have already been implemented kind of came from that Discord and whatnot, because we want to build something that the community wants. I think that's part of the longevity of all of it, is if there's something that the community feels deeply about that is going to help the user experience, just the overall, excitement and people enjoying getting into the space and collecting. And kind of like what you're saying, you guys run your channel, and it's something where you want to give away stuff here and there, but you can't really give it right now until you have somebody pay you for it. So it's definitely something we can look into adding and seeing kind of what the roadmap looks like and what the timeline looks like for that.
I'm curious. So, and I'm sure people don't realize this. I mean, Panini is like $1 billion organization. It's not like, hey, let's do this today and it's done tomorrow. Let's talk 30 days from now, right? Mm-hmm. Today is September 24th. So let's call it Halloween. Are there any things that are on the roadmap that are coming that are big news by that date?
As far as stuff in the next 30 days, we're actually working with, so we've had our tech team is located in India. It's called X-Cube Labs. They've actually been here for the last month. And so some of the things that have kind of come to fruition over the last 2 weeks are large part because me and Phil, we're in there with those guys for 2 or 3 hours a day right now, just spitballing, brainstorming, anything and everything you can think of as it pertains to blockchain and features that we want to see. Things like we've talked about adding like a contest, specifically with the NFL season going on, where, you take your, a base mosaic card that maybe you pulled from a pack and say you've got all 30 quarterbacks listed there, and you just tell us, maybe you have some kind of UI that shows what quarterback you think is going to throw for the most yards this week, and you take your card and you have to have that card in your collection though at the time in order to pick that player. So with that group being here, we've gone over just several different new features and stuff. I can tell you as of yesterday, they're putting that roadmap together with our VP of tech, and they're kind of deciding what features are next in line after the last couple that they've implemented over the next couple of weeks. So today's actually their last day here where they're going over that stuff, honestly, as we speak, to where I don't have the exact answer right now of what features they're picking as far as what needs to come into fruition next that these couple groups from X-Cube work on next. But there's definitely some, what we think are going to be real unique things coming into play here as far as down the road. Now, whether or not which ones come first and which ones come later, I don't know at the moment, but there's some cool things coming down the pipeline.
Tell that team to stay a little longer, because that would be cool. That's utility. That's a good answer. If there's going to be a game in there, almost fantasy-wise, where if you own that card, you can pick that player for your team that week, and then they play against each other, and you win prizes. You win other digital stuff for having the best lineup. That's actually pretty cool. It's something that's been talked about in other properties and hasn't happened yet. But, guys, if you listen to Brett's answer again, he may have dropped a hint in there about what the football release might be. So take a listen. He might have dropped the Panini property in there. I'm not going to say it in case I don't want to make him mad, but you might have to go listen back a minute there. Yeah, he talked about a football release.
What about there's so many artists out there that kind of cross over sports and creative. Have you guys thought about doing like a kind of an individual release, like Precious Metal Gems for NFT version? Project 2020 where you guys make custom art for the NFTs and release them?
Not really yet. I know the one thing that we've done, so we just partnered with the U.S. men's national team. They're actually doing something pretty unique right now, where for all the friendlies that are getting played, if you actually go to the games, you're a ticket holder for the games and go to the games, they're taking local artists for the games. Like I believe the one this weekend, or it's either this weekend or next weekend's down in Austin. And so they've hired a local artist down there. The gentleman's gonna come up with a poster series, basically, is what they're doing. And they're giving that away as an NFT at the game itself. So the first game was up in Tennessee. So the first one's actually anybody that's actually claimed it. Those are live on the blockchain right now. And so we've done that. We haven't really talked internally about partnering with artists or something like that, but it's something we could definitely do in the future.
Anything from the chat, Andrew? So here you go. I'll drop one for you while Andrew's looking for a good chat.
Well, Ziggy's asked like 76 questions. I'm not sure which one.
Well, it's not Ziggy's show. Ziggy can have Panini on another day. So, but here's the fun thing, right? We've already asked a couple of Ziggy's questions. Ziggy, let other people talk in the chat, man. We love you, but come on, man. Be nice. So here's a cool one. If you don't want to activate users by allowing folks to gift to people, I will tell you that if a numbered color blast, physical card, tangible card of LaMelo numbered to 65 hit eBay, it would drive the tangible collectors nuts. Because the only place where you can get a numbered color blast, LaMelo or Steph Curry or Giannis out of, I think it was 69, such a limited number, or even the other ones out of 250, but I'll use the challenges as the example. The only place you can get a numbered color blast right now is on Panini Digital. They're not numbered cards in the tangible world. If Panini wanted the easiest, and this is in your Discord, so if you're in there, you can check my suggestion. I've made it a bunch of times. What would it take for Panini to print tangible versions of the challenge digital cards? The numbered blue ice that has been a challenge, the numbered color blast. I mean, we're talking about you guys printing 65 of the LaMelos, 60-something of the 69 of the Giannis, the Curry, the Ja Morant. It's not a huge lift, but those get out there in the world, and you reward the people who are in that. All of a sudden, every challenge is going to be done by every tangible person in the world. And they're all going to get in because they all want that tangible card. They all want that color blast that's numbered for the first time in Panini ever doing those. You know what I mean? They want to get in on that Marvels set that was numbered. You know, the Luka challenge, the Zion, the high voltage Luka, the Zion, they'll want to get those tangible cards, and the only way to do it would be having those collectors of tangible come on the digital platform and do those challenges and buy those digital cards. The fact that Panini hasn't done that yet with such a light lift, it's actually shocking to me. So I bet you're going to tell me it's not in the roadmap.
Nope. It was not in the roadmap, but it's definitely something we can look at doing. I mean, we've talked about something like that internally early on, that we talked about making the challenges unique enough to where, maybe it's something where if it's limited enough and fits within the space of us having the ability to print something like that we can go in and do that on the back end. I mean, there's definitely print time associated with that, as it comes with like our printers and stuff right now. Like Optichrome is a specific thing that typically just gets done by the facility that we utilize. It's not, in essence, like the instant stuff that you're familiar with. Instant gets printed digitally on something that is a little more instant, for lack of a better word. Something like Optichrome is something that's going to take a little bit more time to do. Not that you care that it's going to take more time to do, because eventually you'll get that card.
Exactly. Brett, all people would want to know is that it's coming. You know what I mean? Like, if it were coming, people would wait for that. And people would be on the next one even before those things hit eBay. But yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, if you're listening to this from, audience perspective, to hear, it takes some money to print it and the whole deal, people will be like, boo hoo, Panini. I mean, you want us to buy these digital packs, like give us something. You know what I mean? Well, let's do something here, So that's, I mean, all right, Andrew, what's Ziggy want?
No. You're crushing it. People are loving it. There's some good questions here. The chat moves quickly. Yam asked if Panini offered to make you a rookie card, but it had to be NFT only or physical. Which would you choose? So that's a question for us. But I do want to ask. So here's a comment. Minting app cards can be modern day grading. Allow people to pay a minting fee. Let them mint whatever cards they want, maybe say 5 a day, 1 a day, 9 a day, whatever it is, all numbering in the background, and publish the numbering on the cards. Where do you stand on that, Brett?
So are they talking about like grading the card? Like you put like a little grading case on it or something like that? Or
let's say you have a 1-of-1 Mahomes on the Blitz app, right?
Yeah.
You could click a button, say mint, pay $50. It's kind of like a grading fee.
Gotcha.
And you mint, and then the next day that appears on your account on the Panini Direct as an NFT.
I think honestly that's generally probably how that's going to end up working out, is some form or fashion of that. I think the bigger discussion is going to be, do we allow it, kind of like we talked about earlier, to be all cards? Do we allow it to only be a certain amount? It is something, with blockchain, you see it in just transactions and gas fees and stuff like that. When the Ethereum network gets all bogged up, those gas fees become astronomical. So there is something with that. And you see it during high volume times with the packs and stuff like that you get the dreaded high volume button, try again. With this minting of this stuff, you're going to see it where if you just allow the floodgates to go open and everybody could go mint at the same time, it's going to bog the system down. So I think if and when we figure that out and finally fully put that plan into place, it's probably going to be something similar to that, like what that idea is of, maybe you can only do X number per day or something like that. Something where we can keep things in line on the chain and not just throw things out of whack. But it is a good idea to do it to kind of limit how much gets moved over daily, so the number doesn't just go astronomical on people.
Yeah, and people would be willing to pay a fee and the whole nine. There's definitely ways to do it. Mount Rushmore could probably tell you all of them. He's pretty heavily invested in it. He knows his stuff. And I mean, listen, for the tangible guys listening to this, I mean, you got to see the comments that are out there. I mean, Kaboom. I can't stand Kaboom, but the world loves it. The world loves it. A numbered Kaboom card that you got a physical version of for completing a challenge. Forget about it. Your numbers would. I mean, maybe you don't want it. Maybe you don't want to get too popular too fast. But that would cause one of these. Like you would bring people who right now are saying digital. All of a sudden, if digital was their way to get into the Kaboom cabal, they would be doing digital. They would do whatever they needed to do in digital to be able to get a chance to get that numbered Kaboom card. So it's something you got to think about.
So, Brett, I think this is probably a unique interview, and I'll tell you why. What makes us maybe different than other shows in the space? Yeah, we do it every single day, but where we've had success is we realize our audience, and really a lot of audiences out there, care so much about other people's businesses that they'll give you their answers as long as you're willing to listen, right? And it's crazy. We do a lot of these shows. We go live a lot. The comment section is going nuts. And I think it shows how much people really care about Panini. I really do. How much brand equity there is in the business, in the IP, in everything you guys do. I mean, Color Blast, like when the Color Blast challenges went live, bro, people went nuts. Curry, Morant, people bought Denny Avija. They bought. This guy was averaging like 2.2 points a game. So people love what you're doing, and they just, it's like when you see so much potential, everyone's like, da, 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 da. They have so much to say, but I understand it's like drinking out of a water hose and prioritizing and things like that. And with tech, I think with tech, what's difficult is when you make a technology change and a marketing change, you kind of they have to be in unison, right? One can't be out. You can't promise something you can't deliver, and you can't deliver something and you're not marketing it. So it's a really interesting world. If I could give you the floor, I don't know how you're doing on time, but like, let's say I'm holding, 20,000 worth of 20,000 USD in Panini Blitz, Dunk, NFTs. Can you give me like peace of mind that, this will be around in a year, that you guys are building for the future, kind of like that investor pitch, like 90-day shareholder meeting type of thing?
I will tell you, probably the best thing I can tell you is we're not going anywhere. The guys, our X Cube group from India, those guys have been here for a month. They extended their stay by 10 days just to continue working with us when the lead guy in the group has a wife who's due in November. And he still stayed here an extra 10 days instead of getting back over there and being with her.
10 extra days away from your wife doesn't sound like a punishment, actually. I think, a lot of people in the chat are willing to sign up for that.
You cut national short by like 6 days. You went for 24 hours. Honey, I'm going to be right there.
Yeah. But I mean,
like my wife. That's why.
But I mean, that group's here. They're invested in it. We're invested in it. I mean, we spend many days after work up here working with those guys while we're here, and we have them front and center to just try to take and build out any features that we can, plan out any things that we can to do what we can to try to help future-proof them, to bring that better user experience. We have, I mean, just so many things coming down the pipe to try to just help ease things, bringing new collections to it, and there's just so much more that we're going to be able to offer in the future, and we want to listen to the community, grow what the community wants. I mean, it's like you said, we have all these IPs we can take from, anywhere from a hoops product, a score product, a mosaic, a select, national treasures, flawless, maybe even an eminence. I mean, sky's the limit as far as IPs within our company and stuff, and what brands we can take from, what new great ideas that our product team here is going to come up with next. That's the next hot selling, case hit type insert that we can incorporate and make into an NFT, or who knows, down in the future, make an NFT challenge that we print off and send to collect.
Yes.
I mean, it's stuff we can all work in, and I think it's something where we want to continue to organically grow that user base that we talk about, and we're going to do anything and everything we can to keep growing the community and building asks to it that people want to collect and keep jumping into the space.
Two big takeaways, and I mean, so Spinatron is, Spinatron talks and we read, because his Instagram stories are 4 pages long, a lot of font, but he knows his stuff, and
he says education in those posts.
A lot of education.
Smart guy.
So he says having those NFTs accessible and viewable from outside the NFT crowd instantly makes those another asset class. Closed door, closed system, right? So having them appear on OpenSea, having them appear on public platforms is huge. The second one, and you could touch on it, is the gifting, right? Because gifting brings in breakers, it brings in content creators. That, we talk about the bridge from Panini Dunk to Panini NFTs. Well, the bridge from Panini to content creators and breakers to the audience is built with gifting, right? It opens up. You basically hire a marketing team for free by creating that one feature, and it's so important because that's how we connect with our audience. We've had different sponsors across the board, from tech companies across the board. The way we do it is we're going to go on the platform with you. We're going to learn it with you guys, and first off, that builds trust. But second, when we are able to gift these NFTs, gift these moments to other people, they also get interested, right? They take that moment, they sell it, and they play around with the app. So the customer acquisition, we were just talking to a company before this, goes through the roof with just something small like that.
Yeah, Brett. I mean, we were in our Discord before, and I said, hey, if you guys aren't signed up for Panini Digital, sign up now. I'm feeling generous tonight. I'm going to give some stuff away. But now I know for the next hour, because I said, we're talking to Panini, let's give some cards away. Who wants a Devin Booker? Who wants, who are you a fan of? But I don't know, for the next hour, I'm going to have to explain to them how They got to go into the public gallery and make an offer and pay $1 and then be like, well, that's not a giveaway. I'm buying this. So I mean, it's one of those things where, to me, and listen, I don't write the code. I just come and complain. So, I mean, it sounds easy. I'm sure it's not as easy as I make it sound, but it really is. There's got to be a way to do it where, I mean, it would really exponentially grow your user base because, people would sign up and they're much quicker to get on and be active if someone's just dropping a free digital card in their account instead of, hey, put your credit card in or go ahead and buy something. Like you have an instant user who's now, oh, wow, I got this for free. What else is there? Let me look around here. Let me see maybe I'll complete the set of what they just sent me. There's not that many Marvels. There's not that many, the high voltage. Let me complete that set, So it really is something that, that I think the crew would like. I think the fans would like. I think, it's something Panini should look into. What else you got in the chat? And we can let Brett go.
People say Brett's doing amazing. They want you to come on weekly or bi-weekly, however often you can, to share updates from the Panini.
We'll hold them to it. How about at least 30 or 60 days? We'll bring him back and we'll hold him to it. We'll see how much of the roadmap he did. I'm sure Brett will come back in a while. We're not going to have him back monthly, guys. He has a job.
No, we got some good comments. Here, gifting and trading would be huge. These are trading cards after all.
Hank Mardukas is in the Discord. He's in there. He's definitely one of the founding guys on that Discord. Goes to the moon of challenge awards. Oh, if we can make those challenge award physical cards where they're numbered, I mean, you have one of the coolest things, guys, who are not on this. Lucas Tigers, Brett's. Hey, Hank, I love it. Hank, get the Court Kings, Discord. We'll link this. We'll link this in the Panini Discord after we're done. But think about that, right? I mean, think about the physical cards. It would really be a huge thing. Yeah. It really would. So,
how can people? So we don't want to bombard you, Brett, with send Brett all these emails, send Brett all these ideas. Where do you recommend people who they're not trolls? These are people that are vested in the app, that have, stake in the game, that have been with you for God knows how long. Where should they send info to feel like they're heard and, to give you guys feedback so that you can implement it?
That's a good question. What if I have our IT team make almost like a suggestion Panini email account, and I'll come back in a couple weeks and then we can share that account address. Sure. The other thing we can do too, Beautiful. If you guys are game, you talk about giving away stuff and gifting stuff. I got some Prism NBA NFT packs. We can do giveaways for that. If you guys want to pull 10 different people from your group, send me some email addresses and I'll make sure we hook some people up with some base packs.
Beautiful. Tiger owners utility. Who has an NFT Tiger? Listen, guys, join the Discord for Brett. I'm joining the Discord for Panini. There's not a lot of people in there. They have suggestion sections in there too. We'll have Brett back on. We'll ask the question. You can ask your questions in there. They're in there. Panini has employees. They have mods. They have people in the Discord. And guys, for the tangible folks who are out there thinking about this, one of the coolest things that Panini does, the silvers, right? Silver parallel, right? So one of the things about silvers in the real world, right? In the real world, IRL, in real life, is that they're not numbered. You don't know how many of them are out there. They change from year to year, right? What if I told you could get a LeBron Kobe tribute dunk silver that's numbered to 149? In the real world, that is, 149 is not enough supply, but that's what you have on the digital app. They have numbered silvers in Panini Digital. I mean, imagine that was a challenge, right? The Kobe tribute dunk, I think there was 84 of them, I think, was the challenge. Imagine you made that a tangible card, that Kobe tribute, the LeBron Kobe tribute dunk silver, numbered with a number on the card. Forget about it. The card books will go crazy.
So let's have some fun, guys. Real quick. You guys keep talking. No, keep going. Guys, in the comments, Brett's wearing a hat. First person's giveaway is don't turn around. Don't turn around. Is what sports team is that hat from? First, can I give them a hint on the sport or no?
I hope they can tell the sport.
No.
Oh yes. Stupid.
They're not.
First giveaway is his favorite is the team that he's wearing, and second giveaway Bears. I thought it was Bears because of the jersey on the wall too, guys. See. Yes, Mikey Allen. Broncos. Hezzy Sports Cards got it. Hezzy Sports Card got it. It was Broncos. So Hezzy Sports Cards.
Well, you can get a pack if you show proof of Tiger ownership.
You're too late, Joe. So Hezzy Sports, and we'll pick 9 others. Real quick. So let's say I'm a whale in this game. Sorry, I'm not sorry. And I own about 100 Superfractor packs. Are you guys going to offer the auction function? Like, are you going to be able to sell packs in the future?
For sure. Yeah. It probably won't be until we introduce the crypto into the space, because kind of like what you alluded to with the PayPal is the only form right now. We don't want people to open the packs and then dispute their transaction after they open the pack. So that's kind of the biggest hurdle we've had to date, is we wanted to announce it before we did the first packs. So people that are get in early on this stuff, they want to buy and hold packs to then sell the packs later on. They don't just go and open everything and then later on you announce, oh, hey, now you can sell packs. Like, great, I wish I would have known that back in June. Like, so this will give people the ability to, yes, hold your packs if you want to sell packs later on. It will come when the crypto comes, because we want that function to strictly take place with the crypto space and the crypto transactions. We don't want it to go through PayPal and give people any opportunity to dispute those transactions.
Awesome. I love it. Last question, Brett. What has been the coolest thing since working at Panini? Met someone, you worked on a project. Was it a design? You worked on the Color Blast challenges.
Meeting Cage. Easy.
I will say, a couple years ago, we were working on Noir as a team, and we had the idea in a whiteboard coming up with the sneaker spotlight set within Noir the first year that was done. And I think that was kind of one of the first sets that was a newer set for the team that we were able to come up with, and that truly got collectors into a program that was a good program, but I think just took that program over the hurdle, just adding in one simple set like that kind of, and I think it just happened to kind of be perfect timing with kind of the boom of trading cards, getting a lot of sneakerheads in them and stuff like that. So I don't know, that was something that was really, really cool for me to kind of see come into fruition, because we don't work a ton with kind of leading our photo department in, we want to like this specific photo or that specific photo, because we work on so many programs and so many sets. It's hard to really dedicate towards that piece of it when we have great photo pullers that know exactly what they're doing and what we're looking for on a program by program basis anyway. But that was one in particular. It was taking the time to look into, oh man, what shoe do we want for this guy? What shoe do we want for that guy? Which one do we want for this? What for the first set, what Kobe shoe were we going to use for it? And going through the set and each and every player that we wanted in the set and making sure we had kind of everything as we wanted it.
Love it. Can't get a better answer than that.
In the comments for the rest of the giveaway. Sorry, I'm just milking this to the end. It's Friday, but you're on Central Time, so we still got some time, I think. Brett's lucky number. Guess Brett's lucky number in the comments, and that will be the second round of giveaway. So I have Yan, Hezzy Sports Card, Tom Bullard, and Bernardo won the Broncos giveaway. So please don't participate. In the comments, put Brett's lucky number, and we'll give out the rest of the packs. If you don't get it, it's going to be closest. So, that's not what I wanted to click. The comments come in quick. So wanted to give, this came up a few times. So people said Panini did a good job responding to the community and giving Ohtani a bat.
And that was something, we it's hard for us to do things quickly like that, because we do have to go to leagues and get league approval on stuff. So when you try to put something together quick like that, you have to work with, league partners and stuff like that. It's got to route through the building. So doing changes like that, we definitely need to, it's harder to get some things through. Luckily, we were able to get that one through in time and update it and kind of get it right. I mean, they were right. It should have been a bat photo. Should have been him hitting.
Cyber, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate it. It's another Another guy who's been in Panini Digital.
Brett, Cage made a call for the ages. So at 33 home runs at the All-Star break, right? Ohtani had 33 home runs. And Cage said he did some digging. He's a little like, I've learned that, you can't, he's not going to, he ran the numbers and he said Ohtani's not going to hit more than 15 home runs in the second half of the season. And that was a bold prediction. He got a lot of slack. Yeah. And now let's see. You guys know how many home runs he has? 45.
He's hit 12. He's hit 12. He's hit 12 and the season's winding down. That's because on average, people who have 30 home runs at the All-Star break hit 15.8 home runs in the second half on average in the history of baseball. So I said no more than 15. It's just what the numbers say. It's all stats.
The stats guy right there digging deep.
It's all stats. We'll see if it comes out. We'll see if he may go on a tear.
He's not just a talker. So, Brett, what's your lucky number? What's your favorite number?
11.
Lucky number? 11.
We had a 13. There was a 13.
I saw an 11.
Oh.
Yep, Joe from Family Guy. Joe from Family Guy. All right, so we got 5 winners here. Joe from Family Guy.
We'll pick
Bernardo,
5
Tom Bullard, Hezzy Sport Card, and I'll pick 5 others.
Brett, thanks for doing that.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Thank you. That was very, very generous. Whoever runs your marketing team, your Instagram page, I got to give them a shout out because they made it so easy to set this up. We're hoping to get the card folks on as well because, half our community loves NFTs. Half of them are like, I just want something tangible to show off in my vault. So I got to give them a shout out. And guys from the community, it's Friday evening, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. You're off work and you're spending time with us and Brett. So we got to give a shout out to our fans. They keep us going and they help us get esteemed guests. Like I never thought when we started the show we'd get a chance to speak with people from Panini behind the scenes, learn the roadmap, learn what you guys are doing, and maybe even get to navigate a little bit and share how we want to all win together and grow this pizza pie. So Brett, thank you. Thanks, very generous with your time.
We appreciate you coming on, man. And thanks everybody. Thanks for your comments.
I appreciate you guys having me.